Today on What's Next.
I love coaching. It's been doing it all my life, and now I'm doing it for nothing, so I must have loved it while I was getting paid for it.
Each person gets a different sort of version of creativity, but we all get some.
We have gone from about 100 retail outlets when I bought the company to 5,000 today, and we are growing.
Hello and welcome into What's Next. I'm Mark Middleton. This is your weekly reminder that the happiest and healthiest among us are those who have purpose and passion in their lives. Those are the reason to get up and get going each and every morning. Passion and purpose change perspective. They open us up to new ideas and to new experiences. We see opportunity more clearly. And today we've got 3 stories that illustrate the power of passion and purpose. And as always, we've got 3 renowned storytellers to tell those stories. Amy Sweezy, Cecily Wilson, and Bill Schaefer. And Bill, why not kick us off today by telling us who is Coach Mo and why do we need to know?
Come on, Mark. Coach Mo, one of the most in-demand coaches for the fastest growing sport in the country, pickleball. And here's how big it is at the Villages where Coach Mo lives. For pickleball, they have 250 courts. And you gotta sign up to get one. Everybody wants to get better, and Coach Mo is the guy they turn to. Even Phil Bagley, pickleball's Michael Jordan, he credits Coach Mo with a lot. So what is it that attracts everyone from beginners to greats? Let's meet Coach Mo. Well, if you love pickleball, there's no better place to be than in the Villages, Florida.
It's the mecca for pickleball. There's over 250 courts in the whole Villages.
You also get access to one of the greatest coaches in the game. This is Richard Movsession.
Make sure you slow it down to give yourself time to get up here and get in a position to win the point.
One of the reasons he's so effective is that he's been a coach his whole career. He started with ice hockey. After he retired, he never expected to find another sport to take its place. But there's definitely something about this new one.
People get addicted to pickleball. I mean, they don't have to be great. They just get addicted to the game, and they love being active when they get older. And it's a game they can be active when they get older.
You're kind of addicted to coaching, aren't you?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I love coaching. It's been doing it all my life, and now I'm doing it for nothing. So I must have loved it while I was getting paid for it. 29 years I was a teacher coach.
So how old is Coach Mo these days?
81 years old.
81? Can you even believe you're saying that?
I can't believe it. I just enjoy it so much because all the people here, I give free lessons and they really want to get better and it makes me feel better.
But Coach Mo, sports, aren't they for the young?
Yeah, they're for the young, but us used-to-be's like to keep playing. That's what it is.
And pickleball is the game that seems to check all the right boxes.
It's a great conditioning sport, and if you love it, you're going to really burn a lot of calories. And you're going to get good at this sport easily because in pickleball, here's the handle, here's the contact point. In tennis, here's the handle, here's the contact point. A lot more difficult when the contact point is out here to learn a sport. You can learn pickleball very quickly, and you can keep the ball in play early. You know, within a couple of weeks, you can actually play the game and have fun. Backhand.
It's one thing to find the right activity, but quite another to find a motivating mentor in an inspiring environment.
The Villages gives people a place to be a child again, honestly. It makes us feel so young. I mean, I go out at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, people are running, riding bicycles, I'm not kidding. We get to the pickleball courts, they're out there, they're at 70, 80, 90 years old, playing a sport. All sports, they're playing platform tennis, they're playing tennis, they're riding bikes, they're running, you name it, they're doing bowling leagues. This is unbelievable for anybody.
Aim your paddle, boom, okay? And just punch it.
And Coach Mo? Well, he takes that a step further because he understands the secret that when you lead with your heart, you can transform what looks like a game into an activity that changes lives.
He's like a dad to me, and I'm like a son to him, and like a daughter. I get emotional because he has given so much to both of us, and we love him so much. And at 81 years old, he still stays in the game. He's unbelievable. What a great heart he has. So we love him.
Yep. Yeah.
You proud of yourself, Coach Mo?
I am proud of myself. I think I've had a great life. I had a great 29 years retirement. How could you not be happy? And doing what you enjoy doing, and I enjoy it. That's fun.
And how often does talking about your coach make you emotional? But he's having fun, he's doing what he loves, still coaching at 81 and more in demand now than ever before. Amy, what does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that I need to get on this bandwagon and start playing me some pickleball. And that makes me a little sad because I sort of wish I lived in the Villages so I could take free lessons from Coach Mo.
I mean, this is the ultimate win-win-win-win if I'm counting right, because Coach Mo is doing something he loves. He's staying physically and socially active while he's doing it. He's making a difference in the lives of others while he's doing it, and he's doing all of that in his 80s, which makes him optimistic about his 90s. Cecily, we should all have some of that.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And he said it best. He loves it so much that he's not even getting paid to do it, right? So that's how you know he really, really likes it. And like you, Amy, I think I need to do some pickleball. I said I've been doing it. I want to do it. So I think we're old enough to get into the Villages, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then some.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We might need a Growing Boulder team, I think.
I love it. Let's
We got to
go.
force them right here.
Right here.
I like to encourage everybody to think that they are actually creatives.
You're likely to be faced with helping a loved one through a life transition, and Caring Transitions can partner with you during this time. We offer a customized approach to each individual for downsizing, home cleanouts, estate sales, online auctions, and more. With more than 280 locations nationwide, our experts are here to provide compassionate care and help you manage it all. Learn more with a free consultation at caringtransitions.com.
Every moment is once in a lifetime. I love that. But when we can't be together, it's hard to share those moments. That was before I found an easy way for Mom to connect with us. Oh, the memories. Their first date, to summers at the lake, to ball games, to birthdays, it's all shared with her grandpa. And that brings me happy tears. Mom, were your ears burning?
Oh, you know they were.
Did you get the pictures that Shelby sent you?
I did, and I felt like I was right there with you.
Welcome back to What's Next. I'm Amy Sweezy. When Davy Jordan was in college, he thought that he would end up in the medical field. Caring for people was important to him, but actually working in hospitals just didn't feel right. So he connected back with the imagination that had colored his childhood, and he changed his major to theater, eventually finding a career as a puppet coordinator for Pee-wee's Playhouse. He also worked on Nickelodeon shows and eventually with some other clients.
The beauty of art, it's like depends on the project, depends on the client, I guess, what have you. We worked with Heather Henson of the Henson family, and these were developed to tell a story about the endangered animals of our world and bring attention to their plight. Just the beautiful study of the lines of any one of these characters, crocodiles or whooping cranes, begins to dictate a lot of the development of the character. But then, building some whimsical fun into things for people to be able to enjoy the silliness of things. And then these really goofy characters, they pop out of a hat like, magic. Some of us artsy fartsies, I don't know, it feels like a little bit out on the outside. But I don't totally agree with that. I think that we were created with things in us that want to create. Now, creativity, I think, like all the different gears in a watch, creativity, each person gets a different sort of version of creativity, but we all get some. So I like to encourage everybody to think that they are actually creatives. So we're all alike.
All right, you heard him say creativity a whole lot. Davey is the creative director of the educational nonprofit, the Big Potato Foundation, and the mission is to cultivate healthy communities through creative and cultural efforts. Now, he helped design these puppets for an endangered species parade and program. Guys, who knew that you could make a career as a puppeteer? I had no idea, right? But I think the real takeaway here is that reminder that there is a spark of creativity in all of us. Davey took a huge chance by moving from a medical field to the arts. He followed his passion, right? And it paid off. So Cecily, we know that you started your nonprofit because you have a passion to help other women. So can you share a little bit with us about, some of the things that you've gained from that?
Yeah, I think what I gained most is the empathy, because at what point you really thought you were out there on that island alone. And then when you realized the more you give, the more that others are seeing themselves in you as well. So I've learned that there's a level of empathy that comes along with those who may not look like me, may not have the same story as me, but at the end of the day, we all have a very similar storyline, and I know that I can help. And that's why I feel so passionate about helping other women get to the best days of their lives just by showing that, hey, I was that woman too, so let's make it happen.
With the puppeteering, I keep going back in my head to wondering what the conversation was like when he sat down and said, Mom, Dad, I'm dumping medicine, going into puppetry. What do you think? Holy cow. That's like walking up to the edge of the cliff and jumping off. Go, I'm proud of you, son. But I've seen the stuff they do, and it's not sock puppets like we're thinking. It's not even Muppets. This stuff is really art. It's gorgeous. It's set to music. It's emotive. I mean, these guys are really, really something special.
Yeah, they're good.
Bill, I got to disagree. If his parents knew him, I think they said, you're right, you don't belong in a hospital. You belong in the Big Potato Foundation, so go make it happen.
You have to wonder if that was before or after they paid for medical school.
Right. Right.
If I was going to rebuild the brand, I would have to pivot, and I turned to manufacturing.
We're not made to withdraw from life. We're made to seize each moment and to value every breath. We're made to be bold, to take risk, and pursue our passions. Don't identify with limitation. Embrace possibility. Stop growing older. Start growing bolder. Find your what's next at growingbolder.com.
Welcome back to What's Next. I'm Bill Schaefer. Question for you. Do you remember Kodak? How about Blockbuster? Bob's Big Boys? So many brands that we grew up with. They're gone. Big brands we thought would be around forever. What happened? Remember Stuckey's? It wasn't a real road trip till Dad pulled the station wagon over for some of those amazing pecan rolls. Well, how about this? I met the granddaughter of the guy who started the entire chain, Stephanie Stuckey, and she could not be more determined to bring the Stuckey's brand back.
I spent my lifetime seeing our brand trashed. I would drive by his old stores, and they were porn shops and trucker bars, and it broke my heart. And I'd spent decades seeing that and being disappointed. And when I had that offer, I thought, well, here's my chance. I love the Stuckey stores. I have an emotional attachment to them. There's only 13 original Stuckeys still around, and we don't own any of them. They pay us a modest licensing fee. So if I was going to rebuild the brand, I would have to pivot, and I turned to manufacturing. I couldn't revive his actual plant, but I had the incredible opportunity to buy a pre-existing plant. And so we've pivoted, and we're in manufacturing. We've grown from about $2 million in sales to over $13 million in 3 years. We are now profitable. Our team has grown from 9 people when I bought the company to we now have a head count of a little over 70. And we just hired 3 new people this week. So we are in growth mode, and it's super exciting.
Such a great story. Where do you think you're headed? Where do you want to go with this?
I want us to be the go-to pecan snack company in America. And if you go to a snack aisle in your grocery store, your convenience store, the snack nut aisle, You will be hard pressed to find a bag of pecans on their own, right? You'll see peanuts, you'll see cashews, you'll see almonds, you'll see macadamia nuts, for Pete's sake. But where's the pecan? And fun fact, the pecan is the only commercial snack nut native to our country. We have gone from about 100 retail outlets when I bought the company to 5,000 today, and we are growing. So my dream for the company is to be the go-to snack brand for pecans in this country and to reach 100 million in sales before I retire.
And let's hear it for the pecan, whether it's pecan, pecan, those logs are delicious, and it's the connection that we still have with those brands. Simpler times, memories of things and people that aren't around anymore, a piece of our childhood. Stephanie Stuckey stepping away from her law career to have a log career. What do you think of that one, Amy?
What a bump.
Oh, Bill's got the jokes. You know, I was so excited because I thought, okay, she's obviously the expert. So she keeps saying pecan. That's gotta be the way that we pronounce it, right? And then she switches it up on us and says pecan right in the middle. And I'm like, oh no, now she's even in on it. I loved at the beginning what she said, that she had to pivot. She couldn't just do the things that they had always done. If she wanted to build this brand, she had to pivot, she had to be flexible, she had to be willing to adapt, and I love that she did.
You know, I don't miss places as much as things, and Bill, you mentioned some of them on your intro to that story, but as a kid, I loved me some Twinkies. And Twinkies actually went bankrupt twice. In 2012, they were off the shelves for 4 years. That created a ripple throughout our culture. People were upset, so much so that it was purchased out of bankruptcy. It was brought back, and Twinkies, as bad for you as they are more popular than ever. So yeah, there is power in nostalgia.
Yeah, it's creating that legacy. I think that's what's really, really important here. She has a part of that legacy and she wants it to continue and thrive. And I grew up in Louisiana, part of my family in Louisiana, and so I've always known it to be pecan. That is it. Pecan candy, that's what we ate. And to say pecan sounds, you're not from Louisiana, are you? But I love it. I'm glad that she's creating that legacy and bringing that family nostalgic piece of candy back to us.
Well, there is no question there is power in nostalgia, in reconnecting with old brands, but there's also power in connecting with new pursuits, which is what this week's Bold Social Clip is all about. When 66-year-old Neil Unger, aka The Dude, lost his partner to ovarian cancer, he was suffering from depression and grief, so he decided that he'd distract himself by trying something brand new, something difficult, something that an older man normally doesn't take up, and that is skateboarding. Mission accomplished. Neil describes himself now as a dedicated beginner and the Einstein of knowing how to fall.
And where down we
Every moment is once in a lifetime. I love that. But when we can't be together, it's hard to share those moments. That was before I found an easy way for Mom to connect with us. Oh, the memories. Their first date, to summers at the lake, to ball games, to birthdays, it's all shared with her grandpa. And that brings me happy tears. Mom, were your ears burning?
Oh, you know they were.
Did you get the pictures that Shelby sent you?
I did, and I felt like I was right there with you.
Life is about transitions, and there is an art and a science to navigating them. They're about shedding what matters least so we can focus on what matters most. And that's why Growing Bolder is thrilled to partner with Caring Transitions, the nation's most trusted total solutions provider for seniors in these times. Whether it's home cleanouts, downsizing, relocation, estate sales, and so much more, one call handles it all. To get started with a free consultation, visit caringtransitions.com. Welcome back to What's Next. It is time to share your take. Each and every Monday, we ask our over 1 million Facebook followers to connect and share their answers to questions like this one. What's a decision you made from your heart and not from your head, and how did it turn out? So, gang, what about you? And Seth, I know you've got to have a good one.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I've said this 100 times, and this probably is not the most politically correct answer, but the one thing that I've said before is that divorce. I pursued my divorce with my heart and not my head, and it didn't end well for me, so I should have gone for the pocket, but I didn't. That's my answer, and I'm sticking with it.
Okay, thank you for that, Cecily. Well, look, I didn't turn my back on a medical career and I didn't quit practicing law, but I did walk away from a fairly high-paying, cushy job in local TV news to follow Mark Middleton and help him create Growing Bolder. And I'm telling you, if we have changed anybody's life out there at all, just convince people to go for more, live better, live a fulfilling life, then yes, it was worth every minute of it.
This question is so hard for me because I feel like I'm so bad at doing things from the heart. I have to analyze everything and overanalyze, and I use my head too much, and therefore I think that's caused me some problems in the past. But my goal right now, my next thing I have done with my heart instead of my head is booked a trip to Europe for my husband and I to celebrate our anniversary. There's all the reasons why we shouldn't do it, the money and the time and the kids and this and that and the other, and it's like, no, we're gonna do this. I used my heart instead of my head, and we're gonna make it happen.
And we're going to share some of the photos right here on this program, I hope, Amy, because I know it's going to turn out well. I have too many passions, and I will follow them quickly. Whether it's painting, running, swimming, writing, movie making, I will jump, and I almost rarely regret it. And folks, when you think about it, following their passions is what led Coach Mo, Davey Jordan, and Stephanie Stuckey to new experiences and also new friends. And at Growing Bolder, we learn from many folks like them what's possible as we age, but we also learned that there are no guarantees. Sometimes, sadly, a passion or a purpose doesn't find you. You gotta go find it. Growing Bolder is not about smiley faces, it's not about unicorns or pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's about pushing yourself to try new things. It's about connecting with others and contributing to the lives of others. If you're working on those three things, What's Next is going to take care of itself. We'll see you next time.